Hi, Sandy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to another How to Meet Your Idols. We're in episode, please correct me if I'm wrong, Kirk, 9?
Episode 9, yes.
Yay! I got it right for once.
We have 2 weeks to work on it, and this is, episode 9.
Episode 9, right. So it's been a hell of a week. We're going to start, obviously, with Andy. You guys, and you and Kirk, obviously had a big week. You got to interview the lovely Liv Kristine. You've got a little bit of a kind of a diary footage that you're going to share. We've actually got the interview coming up this week as well. So please check that out on the channel for the viewers. That's coming up separately. But here's a little bit of behind the scenes, I guess, from Andy and Kirk about their experience in interviewing Liv Kristine.
Good afternoon. I've just pulled up at Kirk's house in Stevenage, and today we are going to do our online interview with Liv Kristine. I don't mind telling you all I'm pretty nervous, but I'm sure it'll be okay. See how we get on. Wish me luck.
Get Skype, let's do it. Skype for desktop, yep. So I've got, if I press that and R, and then go for the, it tells me what version. What the fuck? Windows. That's not it. Shit, what do I type in there? Oh yes, let's try that. Okay, it must be Windows. It's Windows 10. So, Skype for desktop. By downloading Skype, you accept terms of use and privacy cookies. Let's do it.
Okay, here we are at Kirk's house. We've gone through the questions. Laptop set up.
Shitting ourselves.
We're as ready as we can be. It's just a matter of giving it a few minutes and we'll be hitting the call button and hopefully speaking to Liv Kristine.
Yeah, we're doing it on Skype as well, so I've just downloaded that. I haven't used Skype for years. It should be easy to record it. We've added her email address in as a contact, so I'm pretty sure we just double click and then make a call. We can do all that. The plan is I'm going to put us at ease, make a bit of small talk, just say this is how we're going to set up. Then we'll press the record button. I'll do the intro, and I'm going to hand her over to you, Anna, but we're just going to get her to tell us what's happening in her life at the moment. And the key thing we want here, we agree on, is that she's got to do most of the talking. Listeners, viewers don't want to hear our voice too much. This is an absolute legend, and we've got a responsibility to our fan base as well to ask some good questions, which does put us under a bit of pressure. But I'm confident. We've done a run through, haven't we?
Bit of role play.
I pretended to be Liv Kristine, didn't I?
If it was as easy as what it was doing it with Kurt, then we should both be fine. But right, see how we get on.
This is what dreams are made of. Let's go.
Right, we've just touched base with Liv. Kirk's messaged to say that he's hosting the meeting, just in case Liv wonders who he is. She's replied, "I'm ready." So any second now, we're going to click the call button and begin.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
The debrief. We're in the Red Lion, Stevenage. Man, the adrenaline after that. Go on, tell us how you feel.
Very, very emotional. I had to keep the tears in when we ended the call. It was an absolutely incredible experience. Liv was amazing, so forthcoming with the information, easy to interview, perfect interviewee. I was pleased with my contribution because I was very nervous about doing this. It's way outside my comfort zone. I've never interviewed anybody, let alone one of my musical idols, and it just was absolutely perfect. Couldn't have asked for a better session.
I thought you were great, Andy, so I knew you were nervous, and you had your questions. We structured it really well. Do you know what I'm proud of? At no point is there any interruption, and we know that the viewer or listener, they want 90% of that content they need to be hearing coming out of Liv's mouth, not us trying to impress the viewers and listeners with obscure questions. It's got to be a conversation. I thought we did get that flow just right, didn't we? And she was so easy to interview. She just very, very succinct with her answers, but you could just let her go on and just listen to the beauty of the voice of anything, couldn't you? That almost like Germanic stroke aristocratic English that she speaks. I'm buzzing after that. First thing that we did was give a high five, wasn't it? When we pressed stop and she went. What have we learned from that though about interview techniques or meeting your idols? What stands out for you?
Well, what I've learned is that the next ones that I've certainly got lined up will be a lot easier, and I feel a lot more confident about doing. I mean, I can't thank you enough, Kirk, for your help today. It would have been a very different story if it was me, pressing the Skype button and calling up Liv Kristine and trying to have a conversation with her. So, thank you very much for that. This is just, I'm so proud to be involved in this project. I can't believe what we've achieved this afternoon. It's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think
on to the next one.
I think it felt real when I downloaded Skype, did it onto my laptop, and then we suddenly realised she probably doesn't know who I am. She's expecting someone called Andy Edwards to dial her in, and you can send a message. So I just said, "Hi, my name's Kirk Horton. I'm going to be chairing the interview with Andy Edwards." And when she typed back, that's when it became real, wasn't it?
Well, I was like, she's seen it. The little icon changed, so the message was seen, and then the dots to say Liv is messaging, and it was a nice sort of icebreaker and sort of easing us into the interview.
That's when it feels real, isn't it?
And then we had a bit of a stumbling block when it said no network available.
Oh God, that was my side as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so I thought, we were just about to try again, and then Liv called us. So we clicked the button, and there she was. And
I was ready to blame it on the Swiss Alps where she lives, but I know that it's a problem. Problem here.
But I mean the connection that we had, the sound and the vision was brilliant, wasn't it? Considering.
Yeah, Skype. I've not used it for a good 3 years. Very easy to record it, and we selected a split screen as well. She was very patient with that.
Yeah.
Do you know, before we started recording, you could tell she was enthusiastic. She was asking us questions like, "Oh, so how did you discover me?"
That's it. Yeah.
That was a great. She did the icebreaker actually, didn't she?
Yeah. No, it was brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't expect Tom G. Warrior, when I interview him, to be doing the icebreaker with me. How did you get into Celtic Frost? I probably have to work a bit. It's going to be a bit more difficult, that one, I think, because he's a man, not a man of few words, but a man of succinct words. He's very careful what he says. Tom G. Warrior, very articulate. Liv, yeah, absolute legend. And this is a day we'll never forget. And I just think, did I exaggerate when I said, Andy obviously has a responsibility to Theatre of Tragedy, their fan base. So this is going to be a typical press engagement, a media interview. We're not just two starry-eyed fans. We are inside, obviously. We need to show that we're professional here as well. So
yeah, it's a very special moment. I'm sure every inquiry such as ours is greeted with the same response. So big thank you to Liv and to her husband Michael for setting this up. We've corresponded via email over a number of weeks and months to get to this day, and it could have gone any better. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah. Just to clarify, it's the angle of the phone that makes Andy appear 13 inches taller than I am. We change it around. I'm almost up to his chin. There we go. That's when he goes into the distance. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely buzzing, mate.
So you guys were pretty nervous then, by the looks of it, and but it seems like it was an amazingly exciting experience for you guys to kind of go through it from what you shared. I guess your biggest challenges is you've got to replicate that. We've got Dave Tatum. I know we were talking about. I know Aaron Stainthorpe is one of the ones that we were obviously looking to interview. So whereabouts are we with those ones, Andy? And the remainder, who else have you got left? Steve Harris and Barney, isn't it? Is the only other two?
That's right, yeah. After we spoke to Liv, me and Kirk sort of discussed an email that I received from Aaron regarding basically he said could we do next week?
Right.
As in the Monday after the Liv Kristine interview. It's difficult for both of us. So I put it to Aaron. Obviously, we'll try and do Monday if that's all you can do. But would Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday would be better? And cut long story short, we basically sort of shelved it for next year in the new year because everyone's busy in the lead up to Christmas. My Dying Bride have got a show tonight, actually in Eindhoven. So busy time for everybody. So that's going to be sorted in the new year. It gives us time also to prepare some questions.
Right.
So yeah, as with Dave Tatum, I haven't sort of spoken or messaged him for a while, but I think what I will do before the year's out is just say much the same sort of thing. Still want to do it. We've got one in the bag, so we know what we're doing. Give me time to prepare some questions, and we'll do a Zoom call January. I would imagine.
Okay, excellent. I guess so. Then it's now to find out what exactly I'm basically been up to this week. So we'll check my usual little video explaining what I did.
Hey there, okay, so it's David. It's my update on how to meet your idols. We must be week 9. So I'm gonna guess I'm pretty much doing the same as what most of the other guys are doing now. Just following up on their messages. I haven't done massive amounts. I guess I kind of left the messaging of the bands until quite late this time around. So it's only been a few days before I'm recording this, before we're actually filming the catch-up episode, so I hadn't done too much. I obviously needed to chase up Clayden from Pitch Shifter, because we had a bit of conversation about, and the last conversation I had was... let's have a quick look. So that was back at the end of November, and I'd sent him 3 messages since then. I was getting a bit concerned. And the last one before the last episode was... Hi John, hope you're well. This was what I posted at the start of the week. So this was, hi John, hope you're well. We posted the Reaction Genius this morning with Kirk and Andy's reactions. Thought you might like to find out interesting, so I sent them a link to that. Didn't have anything back. And then this week I was like, and I use this pretty much the same for all of the artists that I've been messaging, an abbreviation of this particular topic. So there we go. Hi John, I know you're pretty busy with life in general, plus plus making some interesting skateboards. I just wanted to check in if you had the chance to do anything about the video interview questions. We're into the final 4 weeks, which actually means 8 weeks, as we film episodes every 2 weeks. There you go, a little hidden thing behind the scenes of this challenge. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. And then it was literally just, yes, still working on it. So I've just had a few back and forth with him over the last day or so no problems. I thought you would be, are you doing the skateboards yourself? Because he's posted on Instagram he's doing the skateboards for this Tokyo or Bust. So I was just wondering if he was doing them himself. Got to be legit. Fair enough, fair play. Are you doing the work around the Pitch Shifter Tokyo or Bust project yourself? Or do any of the other guys in Pitch Show help with you? Only me, lot of work. And I just shared him a little anecdote about someone mentioning about the Pitch Shifter t-shirts. The other thing I'm doing with this now is from this week. Again, only a day in, so I haven't had any responses back, but I decided to approach. We've got Spencer Sotelo, Robert Smith, Iron Maiden, Greg Pucciato, Napalm Death, which were the main protagonists. Where's Mike Patton? I thought I did Mike Patton as well, but maybe I haven't. I'll have to do that today. But I'm now using the same opening emails that I used, or messages that I used on the other people on here. And as far as follow-up ones, so like with the warning, for instance, hi to you all, you never stop gigging, and rightfully so. Such great work ethic. I thought I'd send my weekly email and see if there's any chance of getting a video from you answering a few of the questions that we can incorporate into a future episode of our series. Out of interview your idols, of which I may have mentioned you are one of mine. I look forward to hearing back from you, and will do wherever I can to make it as easy for you as I can. So really just making it simple. I'll continue with this trend now. I've got 3 more episodes to see if we can make this happen, and I'll try and support it for all the other guys on the channel as well. So that's where I'm up to.
Okay, so I shot that video 2 or 3 days ago. Since then, and as of today, the Pitch Shifter interview is now completed.
Yes.
So
Well
I've with JS Clayden today. So we went through all the questions. He's been emailing me back and forth. We've had a very funny back and forth email today when he was asking me about obviously the challenge and how does that mean that I'm now winning. I did have to explain that unfortunately Andy is in the lead. He did say that he hates you, but he is only joking.
Yeah.
But he does want me to win, of course, the challenge. So yeah, it's been a very, very weird day because that came out of the blue this morning to have a message back from him. And then I've had a load of different emails. We've been chatting about some stuff. We've been talking about Pitch Shifter in general. It was a very interesting, some of the answers to the questions that I thought were quite generic. He had some amazing answers for us, and I can't wait for everyone to hear them. Stuff about new music, there's stuff about those tracks that I didn't even know existed that apparently are on Bandcamp. That's the only location for them. and no one knows about them. So today I was like, oh, Bandcamp, I've got to go and find this new pitch shifter music. So yeah, I had a very cool day around that. As far
How
as
do you feel now, Dave? Now that you've done it, how can you explain to me and Andy what's the feeling like now that you've done your first interview with one of your
it's a very cool feeling, and I also feel that my persistence paid off. It's that thing also about I was talking to someone about this earlier on this afternoon, and I said, if we had never started this journey, there is no chance that ever would have thought about I would ever have a chance to talk to JS Clayden. Probably the same about you guys with Liv Kristine. It's like if we'd never started the channel, because that's the other thing. When we originally started talking about doing the How to Meet Your Idols, we didn't even think about doing an A.D.K channel. We were just going to do it. We were going to put it either on the Screen Blast Repeats or the Dave Does. And I'm wondering whether or not the fact that we have the Instagram account set up, the fact that we have the logo, the fact that we have the channel, has that added legitimacy? Would we have got the Liv Kristine and the JS Clayden interviews if we hadn't done those pieces as well? I don't think we would. I think we would have just been, they'd have been like, well, you've got no context to use. You've got what platform are you putting this out on? So I think it's been a really interesting kind of from where we started this, however many months ago, to where we are now, and thinking about what the journey looks like forward. Because as of yesterday, when I met up with the assistant manager over at Club 85, we now have a location for shooting new videos from January. So we've got a whole stage. We've had approval to have the video backdrop put on as well. So we will have a full backdrop. So obviously by when this comes out, we'll have actually been doing it for about 6 weeks. But it's kind of cool to know all these little things are starting to fall into place, which is going to enable us. And we've got more bands coming through, like we've got a Titan Deity interview coming up, which will have been several months ago, probably by now. But we've got more bands coming through the pipeworks, which, again, I don't think we would have if we'd never thought to start and approach it the way we have. And for me, I'm going to continue going down the route I have with the bands. I did get Cassie from Club 85 talk to me about Rob Flynn. I said Rob Flynn really he likes to be approached in a certain way. When you're talking, you gotta be just phrase your wording correctly. So he's given me a couple of tips to approach. So I'm going to try and change my tact with Rob Flynn on Instagram. Rather than the same approach I'm using with everyone, I'm going to kind of try and tailor it a little bit more for him to see if I can work that in a better way, maybe.
Has Cassie met Rob Flynn or done the sound engineering for
Bloodstock?
Oh, okay.
When he was at Bloodstock, he was talking about the environment around what the kind of how people are with Rob Flynn, how he responds to people, and gave me a few tips. So I'm going to try those with the Instagram and see if that will help. Well, you know that he doesn't do anything other than his own social media, but there's always a first for everything. So I'm going to go down that route and be determined that I will be that first.
Wow, that's what we like.
But the thing is, the bands like The Warning, Alec Batar is just not getting anywhere. So I've kind of given up that one. I don't think there's any way around that one. So I've only got Sully and the other guys left. But I'm thinking if I can now help you guys through Instagram with your others. So Greg, Spencer, I've already messaged those guys. Robert Smith, I've messaged.
Is he on Instagram, Robert Smith? I mean,
yeah.
I should be researching this, it's one of my challenges, but I'm surprised by that. I know he's a heavy user of Twitter.
There is a couple of different ones. It is one of the few verified ones on Instagram, and it is he's got 690,000 followers on there. So it felt like that of going all through all of them. That felt like the one. It was the most active one on there as well. So, and I'll just keep going down those routes for the next week. And I figure if I just am persistent with them, you never know if we can get one more out of it. That'll be good for me. So yeah, that's where I got to on this week.
I mean, going back to our successes or both our successes. I think for me, it's been more than just exchanging a few emails with Liv Kristine's manager and husband and PR company. It was after the initial approach. It was one of my co-collaborators runs an online review website. My other contributor creates local music videos, records local shows, has an established YouTube channel. I mean, that was a great stepping stone. If it had just been us three normal guys, or if you two are in the same sort of boat as me, just a sort of fan and a musician, then we might not have got as far as we did. The fact we've got that credibility and, you know, the established background really did help. And you know, I covered it on the videos. It was a fantastic experience. You know, I was sitting there thinking, I can't believe this is happening. And you know, you messaged me later saying, "Am I still buzzing?" Yes, I was still buzzing. It was been a brilliant week.
Yeah, we were giving high fives, weren't we? As soon as we pressed stop on that recording, we breathed in.
Yeah.
And then there was a feeling of relief, and then there's that euphoria, and then we were like, let's go to the pub and do a debrief. Let's have a drink. This is a monumental occasion.
This went so well as well. It's just, you know, I couldn't have asked for a better interview. You know, she put us both at ease. You know, we asked the questions or put the discussion point out, and Liv didn't waffle on, just clear, succinct answers, which she's probably delivered dozens of times before. But you know, that was for us, and it was, you know, it was amazing.
I mean, when I watched back the video from it, obviously because I wasn't there to see it at the time, but she was just very friendly. She was very amicable to you guys. It did seem that it just she genuinely made it very easy for you to interview, whereas you see some people are very offish and they don't feel like they want to be there, whereas she just generally felt like she was really enjoying it as well, which I thought was great. I was really intrigued to see how it was going to come out, and it came out so well. I mean, I when I was talking to JS Clayden earlier, and I asked him one question, and one of the questions I said was, I said, in relation to your vocal styling or your vocal performance, have you had any like formal training in it, or is it something that just came very natural? And he was like, "Have you heard me sing?" I was just like,
there's the answer.
I couldn't stop laughing. It was just so fun. But again, it was just that it was he could have been very offish with me, but he was very just chilled and very cool about it. And I wasn't expecting it. I mean, and he's been saying for ages, I'll get to you, because he's doing this whole Tokyo or bust thing, and he is literally doing everything pitch shifter himself now. So all of this what he's been doing is he's been finding all this stuff in bags from back in tours. Like he found a little DAT tape from a live concert with Tokyo, which he hadn't seen for like 20 odd years. And he just pulled it out. He had to hire a DAT machine to find out what was on it, because he's like, there's no DAT machine. And he found out it was that, and that's why they're putting it out on green vinyl at the moment. So it's just some amazing stuff going on. But
to interview him then as well, Dave, wasn't it? That's very pertinent. You know, what's going on with pitch shifter. It's not as if this is a person who's been away from the scene for 10 years, which in itself does bring more intrigue, to be fair. But he's got a lot to discuss about music coming out with pitch shifters. So that's great.
I think we should. There's a little guest today. We've got Leslie somewhere, just calling across the floor at the back.
For the third
time. You don't need to crawl behind him, Leslie. You can appear in the video.
You can just walk in the video. It's
our view as well, man.
Right. So, Kirk, we need to find out how you got on last week. Let's have a quick check on yours.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to abandon the goal of interviewing Mike Patton, and I'll tell you why. So I've spoken to the UK PR representative. I had another opportunity to generate a conversation with her, because Scream Blast Repeat, we awarded Album of the Week to one of Speakeasy's clients, a really interesting thrash metal band called High Command. Fantastic record, easy 8 out of 10. So I went to Lauren Barley and said, did you see the YouTube video review that we did of the High Command LP? And I said, by the way, what are the chances of getting hooked, hooking up with Mike Patton or any other member of Faith No More? So that's the other thing I've done. I've expanded it to now, if I'm going to abandon the idea of interviewing Mike Patton, what about speaking to any other member of Faith No More? That will certainly be good enough for me as a substitute, because I worship that band. So Lauren Barley has come back, and she said that unfortunately Mike is off limits for interviews for the foreseeable, and I completely understand that. Let's not forget, he was diagnosed with mild agoraphobia, wasn't he, last year? He had some real mental health struggles. They had to cancel the Faith No More tour and miss the Bungle shows. So I know that he's going to be very selective in giving interviews, and it just doesn't make any sense to be pestering Lauren on this. I need to I need to make sure that I'm nurturing these client relationships with these PR companies and the people that run them. So she has given me the name of Monica at Speakeasy. Of course, I already have reached out to Monica, and she's going to try and help me with Periphery. But she said, Lauren Barley has said, Monica is the best person to go to if you want to try and get in contact with anyone from Faith No More. So that's where I'm going to be redrawing my energies. I'm going to be looking at that as the new angle on the Mike Patton challenge. It is now going to be any other member of Faith No More. I'd be more than happy to interview Billy Gould, Roddy Bottom, Mike Borden. So yeah, that's what's going to happen from there. Not heard back on any of the other idols, but Mike Patton, just thought I'd record this video, let you know that yeah, I'm changing tact on this. It's now going to be a challenge to interview any other member of Faith No More. Mike Patton will not be going ahead, and for his sake, I don't want to be putting any pressure. He's going to be bored shitless doing press interviews. He's been doing this since the age of 19 when the real thing exploded onto the scene. So I know that he doesn't like doing interviews, and I'm going to abandon this one.
Okay, I guess it's a shame, obviously, about Mike Patton. We'd have loved to have had that chance, but it's understandable in that situation and people's health, etc. We want to make sure we're not putting people under pressure, etc. So, what's your plans then for the rest of your guys on your list?
Yeah, so I'm still confident that I can get Spencer Sotelo of Periphery. There is definitely a Periphery album coming out, I would say, in spring next year, and they've finished recording it. I know they've been recording a new music video as well. So I'm going to find out who the contact is, the new UK PR, very soon as well. Mike Patton, though, just to get back to that, I'm not just going to give up. I'm now going to try and get Roddy Bottom, Billy Gould, Mike Borden, any other member of Cinema, because it's a dream to see them live. I've still never seen them live, but to interview them would be absolutely fantastic. Greg Puciato. Do you remember on the previous episode I said I'd gone down the Bandcamp route with him? So the first one I sent to him was, "Hi, here's the pitch. This is what we're doing, etc." Didn't get anything back. So on the second one, I changed my approach to, "Hi, when will the CD version of Mirror Cell, your new album, be available? How do I get a signed copy?" So I didn't even mention Screen Blast Repeat or the A.D.K Rock and Metal channel or our documentary, but I didn't get anything back on that. So I'm still going to keep pursuing Greg. I keep saying as well, don't I, Robert Smith, I'm going to make a start on that, and I haven't. It's because it's a bit like Steve Harris. The chances of getting an interview are very slim, but the whole idea of this documentary is for us to challenge each other, challenge ourselves, and inform the viewer, isn't it? This is how you interview this person, or these are the channels you can go through, or this is why we didn't get an interview. And I've not put enough work in on that. So
you never approached them. That was the reason.
Yeah, I did one email, didn't I, to the booking agent for The Cure. So I am seeing The Cure at Wembley on the 13th of December, Tuesday coming up. So obviously I'm not going to be able to interview Robert Smith there, but looking forward to that concert.
Just hold a microphone up at the front of the stage. Bye.
I did a follow-up with Tom G. Warrior as well. He's back from the tour now. So I just wanted to find out, when does he want to do this? I'm happy to do it in December or January.
Right.
And do you remember I said I've also created the opening title sequence, because this will be published on the Screen Blast Repeat website. I've already created the title sequence for that, and I've sent it to him and say, this is what the introduction to the interview will look like. So hopefully I'll get a response on that. That's in the bag. I've got it in writing that he's going to go ahead with the interview. We just have to work around the artist now, don't we, Andy? Like with Aaron Sternthorpe. And we couldn't believe that we were blasé about it. You're checking your smartphone on an email with Aaron, telling him, "Oh, we can't do it. Can you do it on these dates?"
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, we've got a few plans, I guess. Not as many plans because we've actually got some of these interviews done, but at least we've got some targets for the coming 2 weeks. So let's see how we get on for the next 2 weeks, and we'll see you then. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye.